Hey everybody, and welcome back to Morgellons discussion and microscopy videos. I'm your host Jeremy Murphy, and today I want to talk about this topic, which is Morgellons and what it means to different people means different things. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and you'll get notified every time we upload one of these new videos. So, what does it mean when people get different ideas about Morgellons? Ultimately, what it means is when they go to see a doctor, because that's usually when all hell breaks loose. Because people, they hold their ideas and in regards to their personalities, you know, like if their experience was they lived in a moldy house and then they developed skin lesions, to them, it might make sense that the mold caused the skin lesions, but they may not consider that there may have been insects like fleas or mites or ticks in the house as well that more than likely would have contributed to introducing an infectious agent, which would result in the skin lesions. But because they were in a moldy house and that's what they understand, then they may hold that idea to a certain value and may integrate it in with part of their personality. You know, they may be the mold warrior, and they are sure that their Morgellons was caused by mold. And so when they go to see a doctor and the doctor says, well, the research here says that it may be associated with Lyme disease, that person may become irate with the doctor. No, 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 it's mold. I know it's mold. You need to test me for all 2,000 strains of mold, you know. Or they may just, tell the doctor to F off and leave. The same thing is true for Morgellons patients who are assigned to hate the CDC. They may go into a doctor saying, Morgellons is Lyme disease. I know it. There's no effing way it's syphilis. It's Lyme disease. I'm 110% positive because the Charles Ullman Foundation saved my life. Screw you and the CDC. And what do you think that doctor's going to feel? May feel a little intimidated and possibly even threatened. But those are the kind of patients, the radicalized, weaponized patients, that doctors all across the country see. Morgellons means different things to different people. And that's what the doctors see. When I was writing up the mission statement for the New Morgellons movement, I wanted to make it reflect our intention to help the doctors, because I know that doctors go through all kind of hell about Morgellons. They do see people who think it's aliens. They do see people who think it's plastic. They do see people who don't know, but are getting ready to lose their wife, their house, their kids, their car, and their life because they can't get a handle on it. And those are the people that desperately need help. But it's not going to happen if they believe that the whole reason they're going through this to this day is because of the CDC. But that's what a lot of Morgellons patients are led to believe. They're led to believe that they are assigned to spread the mission that the CDC is a fraudulent agency. And it's just not the case. They had a study that was inconclusive about Morgellons. But that study did find that all 12 of the patients included at the very end had evidence of Lyme disease. 10 years of subsequent research has demonstrated that, yeah, that's true. Morgellons is associated with Lyme disease. It may not be the causative factor, But patients can go see a Lyme disease specialist, and in most cases get it resolved. You know, if it's caught early, it may be easier to take care of. You know, I found that bullseye rash on my thigh when I was living in a dilapidated, moldy environment. And, you know, I didn't see a tick attached, so I didn't think there was any possibility of Lyme disease. I had no idea. But after 3 Lyme disease tests, 2 syphilis tests, and 1 tick-borne relapsing fever test, it turns out that I do have tick-borne relapsing fever. And so you can get those kinds of infections in a moldy, dilapidated environment. But that doesn't mean that the CDC is a fraudulent agency and that it's your mission to make them apologize for an inconclusive study. So, what Morgellons means has to be clear to the doctors. And unfortunately, because of how popular it is, Morgellons, especially the term, and people wanting to adopt it into their own personas, that doctors rarely see people who understand that Morgellons is a condition associated with Lyme disease and aren't pissed off at the CDC, or don't think that Lyme disease is a bioweapon, and understand that the doctors don't necessarily have all the tools they need to remediate it in a lasting manner. You know, maybe patients don't understand that they can get reinfected with Lyme disease or syphilis over and over and over again with different strains throughout their entire lives. They don't even know that oftentimes molecular testing for these spirochetal agents can be faulty. They're not precise. They're not reliable. I mean, yeah, you can do a PCR analysis on a tissue specimen, but is that the specimen with the bacteria you're looking for specifically? Is that bacteria readily available in there, or is it in another tissue specimen right next to the one that you're studying? That is one of the problems. Serologic testing, everybody knows about, not reliable for Lyme disease. It ain't reliable for syphilis either. Both infections can persist in a cell wall deficient state through antibiotic treatments. Both of them can make biofilms. There's not a lot of research about syphilis and biofilms, but there is a little bit. So what Morgellons means really should mean, okay, something you only discovered because you had sores and you looked at those sores with a microscope. That's the only reason anybody should ever think they have Morgellons. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that think because they looked in the toilet that they have Morgellons. And unfortunately, that's just because they don't understand that Morgellons is not a condition of commodes. It is a condition of the skin. But those commode Morgellons patients may get irate at the doctor because the doctor got grossed out when they brought their own feces in. They put a piece of turd in a bag and brought it to the doctor. And like, see my Morgellons? That's what doctors have to deal with. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand the mission. The mission isn't about getting Morgellons recognized or getting the CDC to apologize. It's about getting people the help they desperately need. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. I appreciate all the support I've been getting, and definitely thank you everybody who reached out and told me a happy birthday. It was definitely a memorable one with all the snow falling at the very end. It was cool, man. We had a great time. Hope you guys have a great week, and yeah, I'm definitely blessed to be here every year. We'll see you soon.